Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Country Bumpkin Creates. My name is Lucy. You can find me on Ravelry as Country Bumps or on Instagram as country_bumps. Also, I have started a podcast group on Ravelry. I'll put the link in the down bar below, so if you would like to come along and join that. At the moment there's only like a welcome thread, but coming up to Christmas I will be doing a giveaway, so if you are a Ravelry member, then please come along and join and introduce yourselves. That would be great. It is today Sunday the 13th of October. I sound like I'm in confession every time I do this because, it has been a while since I podcast. I was going to try and get a podcast in between going on holiday and then going to Yarndale, but life happened and just ran out of time. It was pretty busy with work and family stuff, etc. But a lot has happened. A lot has happened in the last, it's probably about 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. First off, the husband and I went to Perth Festival of Yarn. Oh, ghosties. Some books have just fallen over in the bookcase, sorry. I've lost my thread now, lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm back in the room. We went to Perth. We had a lovely day on Perth. We went on the Saturday. Got to meet some lovely people. We met the lovely Kaz from the We So and So podcast. If you don't watch Kaz, then please check her out because she's very good. If I remember, I'm going to put show notes in the Ravelry group, so I will put a link to Kaz's podcast as well. So spent quite a while chatting to her and her friend and her lovely husband, who, like mine, had come along as driver and pack mule to carry all the stuff. Although I was good, I didn't buy that much. I'm not going to do this is what I bought, because most of it that I bought was for projects, so you'll see that as we go along, and some of 4 skeins of what I bought I'm using in a current whip, so so that was lovely. And then we incorporated that into a holiday, so we then went and visited lots of lovely places in Scotland. Didn't get to half the places we wanted to do because there's just so much to see. So if you've never been to Scotland, highly recommend it. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. People are lovely. Everywhere we went, everyone was friendly. But it's a long way from Devon. It's a long drive. Took us 2 days to get up and 2 days to get back. Our last two days in Scotland, we were on the Isle of Skye, right at the very top of the Isle of Skye. So we were driving for 9 hours before we hit the border between Scotland and England. And from there it was still another 9 hours to get home. So we made it as far as Birmingham, and stayed overnight in Birmingham, and then drove home on the Sunday morning. So we were back. It was only like 3 hours from Birmingham first, so it wasn't too bad. But it is a beautiful part of the world, and we stayed in some lovely Airbnbs. So if you are thinking of going to Scotland, then give me a shout and I'll give you some recommendations of where we stayed and where not to stay, because we stayed in a couple of pretty ropey places as well, unfortunately. But that's what you get, isn't it? We didn't plan a lot of the places where we were going to stay, so it was pretty much off the cuff for the major part of like the week. The middle part of the week, we had no plans on where we were going to stay, so we literally booking it like the day before. That's the way Nigel wanted to do it. I wouldn't have done it like that because I'm a bit of a control freak and need to know where I'm going. So, but it worked out okay. So yeah, it worked out okay, luckily. But it could have not. But we figured, hey, you're never that far away from a premiere in if worst comes to the worst. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad. We had a lovely time, but it was a long, long way. Then I was back home in what seemed like a whirlwind 2 weeks, and then I was off again. And went to Yarndale with Sophie and Imogen. Hello. Sarah, who normally comes with us, had recently given birth, so didn't come. Hello. Your baby is so cute. So we'll forgive her for that. But we had a lovely weekend, actually. It was bitterly cold on the Sunday. It absolutely hammered down. The Saturday was beautiful, and we did actually sit outside and have a drink and things like that. But the Sunday wasn't so pleasant. It rained and it rained and it rained and it rained. So it was chilly. It was chilly in that big, I was going to say farmer's market, but it's not. It's a auction, like where they auction sheep and cows and stuff. Auction mart? I don't know what you call it. Farmer's auction place. Anyway, it was big, it was open, it was cold. So, yeah. But again, met some lovely, wonderful people that I've only ever chatted to on Instagram or, through Instagram. We had dinner with the lovely Nikki, who is Lupin Lane Handmade, and her sister Sam on the Friday night. So that was lovely. Again, it took us ages to get there. Traffic was horrendous. You don't realise how far North Yorkshire is from Devon. It's a long way. So I'm glad Sophie drove, and I'm very thankful for that. So thanks again, Soph. Yeah, then we were at Yarndale on Saturday and Sunday. We left sort of mid-afternoon on the Sunday to get home at a reasonable hour, but it was still like gone 10 by the time we got home. Yeah, so we met some lovely people. I met the lovely Red Setter, who is a beautiful soul, and also met the lovely Green Lambkin, who is on Instagram. This is her, and she wants to start setting up a dye business. Oh, is he going to focus or no? Well, anyway, I'll put the information in show notes of where you can find Green Lambkin. So she wants to start her own dye business. So was giving out these beautiful little mini skeins that she dyed up. This is coming out a bit brighter than it is. So this one is on her sparkle sock base. You can see the bit of sparkle in there, and it's called Glacé Fruit, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So she gave us each a little package with a little mini skein in, and a little stitch marker, little gingerbread man, which is really cute, and her information. I don't know whether. Anyway, she's on Etsy as Green Lambkin Yarn. You can probably see the big one, Green Lambkin Yarn, and on Instagram as Green Lambkin. So please do give her a follow, and check out her beautiful yarn. Yeah, so we got home from got home from Yarndale on the Saturday night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday work. Thursday was out with doing family stuff with my mum and my sisters. Went to see Downton Abbey movie, which was very good. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And then Friday we were off to London because my sister managed to get us audience tickets for Strictly Come Dancing. Oh my word. I was so excited. So excited. I am a massive Strictly Come Dancing fan. Absolutely. For those overseas, it's our version of your Dancing with the Stars. But ours is better. It was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. We did, however, because they give out more tickets than they have seats, because obviously they don't want any empty seats in the audience when the show is on. You have to queue, and people queue for quite a long time. We got to our hotel about 5:30 in the evening, and decided we'd have a walk down to see where it was we had to queue. We were aiming to queue from probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning, because that's what people do to get good seats and guarantee that you get in and get a seat. So we got there about 5:30 in the evening, and we thought, we'll just have a walk down, have a recce where we need to go, see where we need to start queuing. Well, we got there at 5:30 and people were already queuing. There were 6 people in the queue, and we were like, maybe not. So we hoofed it back up to the hotel, filled up the car with snacks, blankets, chairs, you name it, we took it. I had knitting, I had boob lights. They're called hug lights. They're those lights that sit around your neck, but they sit like on your boobies, so we call them boob lights. So I had those so I could knit, and we went back down. And we queued from 5:45 until 9 o'clock the next morning, when that's the time you have to get your tickets validated. So we were numbers 7 and 8 in the queue. Can't get better than that. We were this close from the dance floor. We were literally sat on the edge of the dance floor. You didn't see a lot of us on the TV because we were like the opposite end to where the band sit. So the band were up there and we were down this end, like looking out at the dance floor. So as the dancers were dancing, they were dancing towards us. But it was fascinating watching what goes on behind the scenes of a live show, because obviously the main show on the Saturday is live. Before the main show, we had to be back for 4:45. By the time they got everybody in and through security and all that sort of stuff, we got into the studio about 5:30. They then recorded Harry Connick Jr., Be Still My Beating Heart. Oh my God, that man is gorgeous. So they recorded Harry Connick Jr., who was going to be on the Sunday results show that everybody thinks is recorded on Sunday, but it's not. Everybody knows it's recorded on Saturday. So he was first. He had to do 2 takes because somebody in the audience messed up. Mentioning no names, Anthony Cotton. If you want to know more, message me. So he had to do 2 takes, but during the obviously if you watch Strictly you'll know, but during the musical act they do a dance. So this dance was with Anton and Nadia, and at one point they were literally like, I could have touched them as they were dancing. Anton was smiling at us. Harry Connick Jr. smiled at me. It was just such a magical evening. And then we pre-recorded a few like clapping and cheering and all that sort of stuff that they were then going to feed into the opening of the main show on the Saturday. And then the live, obviously we were there for the live show, watched all of the live show, and that was fascinating. What goes on while the contestants are up with Claudia, while the judges are doing their little bit and stuff like that. And then we had a break. They gave us some biscuits and some water, because you're there for a long time. We got into that studio at 5:30. And we didn't leave till 11:15. So it was a long day, bearing in mind that we'd had like an hour's sleep or 2 hours sleep overnight. And then after we got our tickets validated at 9 in the morning, we went back and had another couple of hours sleep. So we were pretty tired by the time 11:15 came, I'll tell you. So then we had a little break while obviously all the voting is going on and all that sort of stuff. People are voting. Did a few pre-records for the Sunday show, and then recorded the results and who was going to be in the bottom 2, the dance off, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it was it was brilliant. We really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And then came home on the Sunday, and I think I've slept like a lot because we were absolutely worn out. So I've had a bit of a whirlwind sort of 4 to 6 weeks really. It's been a bit of a, so now my calendar for the rest of the month is very quiet, so it's like, oh, I can have a sit down and, you know, chill out and see my husband, because I was away for 2 weekends in a row. So bless him, he was left home alone for 2 weekends, but he was fine. He's a big boy, he can cope, he's on his own. So anyway, what we're really here for is knitting, isn't it? And you're also saying, Lucy, what are you wearing? Well, this was when I got home from Perth, I thought, I had this yarn ready and waiting for a Soldotna. This is a Soldotna crop, for those of you who haven't seen one before. I had this yarn waiting, and it had been like taunting me on top of my bookshelf for weeks, and I was like, I really want to start that. But and then when I got home from Perth, I was like, I really want a new Soldotna ready for Yarndale. Bearing in mind it was 2 weeks. So we got home from Perth at midday on the Sunday. By Sunday tea time, this had been cast on. And I love it. So I'll do a little stand up. So you can see it is a crop, so it does fit. Like, there's my boobies, my underbust, so it does fit just under my boobies. So this yarn, the grey is John Arbon Viola. They're Viola base in the Nimbus Cloud. The bright purple and the cream are there knit by numbers. I think it was 25 and 55 I used, but I've linked my project page in the show notes, so you'll be able to see what yarns I used. And then this variegated was Nora George yarns in a DK base, 100% superwash merino in the bramble colourway, and I just love it. I love how it's come out. I did also, when I made my last one, the neck is really high, so with this one I followed Tracy from Nora George's pattern. Went onto her project page, and she'd made a rolled neck, and it's ever so easy to do. So I did a rolled neck on this one, and I love it much better. So what I might do with my other one is pick up the stitches under the collar, or a few rows down from the collar, take the collar off, the ribbed collar, and then do a roll neck, just knit up to do a roll neck, because I much prefer it. The other one feels like it's a bit like a bit straggly. So I do the 2 XL size, 2 XXL, so it gives me a little bit of ease. It's not really tight, and I love it. And I lengthen it as well. I think I did 7 inches of the main colour, and then you've got this like castellated, you can't see it very well, you've got like this castellated a bit here, and then the rib. So I think it comes out about 8 and a bit inches from the underarm down. So yeah, so that's one FO. I haven't got many FOs to show you this week because life's been a bit crazy and I've not been knitting very much. Been a bit mental. I have gifted the baby knits now, and I forgot to record the bits, but I will talk about what I did, and I'll put pictures in because I've got pictures of them all, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So the next FO I have is my Coffee Talk socks. So there's one, and there's the other one. So these are the Coffee Talk socks by, let me put one down, I can't cope with 2 at once. These are by Tracy Miller, who is one half of the Grocery Girls. Everybody knows who Tracy is. And these are Coffee Talk socks. Really good, lovely pattern. It's only a 4-row pattern, and it's very easy to memorise. So I did a traditional heel flap and gusset, and then you do this like faded reverse stockinette toe, which is really clever. And this is, sorry, cat's just walked by. You alright, Boo Bear? Sorry, he's just stopped for some love. You alright, mate? Yes, so this is in the Amore set that Yarn Inc. did for the Grocery Girls. That was very lucky to get my hands on one. Cost me an arm and a fortune, arm and a leg through customs, but hey ho. I don't need money, she says. So this contrast mini skein came with it as well, but I was a bit worried that I wouldn't have enough to do a heel flap and the toe on both. So I did the cuff in the main colourway. But I think it's lovely. So you have these like reverse stockinette patches bits down each side. And then the pattern going on the front, and then it's just normal stockinette on the back. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to putting those in my box of socks. Not that I'm doing a box of socks, but I've got a box with socks in it that I'll wear every day. So it will go in there. So the baby knits I did the Anders sweater by Soren Kerr. I'll put a picture here. And that was knit in Ella Ray Cashmerino Sport in the Wasabi colourway, which is like a greeny yellowy colour, and the Quartz colourway, which is just like a creamy colour. And it's a colourwork sweater, and it's beautiful. Absolutely loved knitting that. And the baby knits are just so quick, aren't they? So, and then the next thing I knit was the Puperium. I don't know how you pronounce that. Puerperium. Puperium. I assume that's how you spell it. Puerperium. Anyway, I knit that, so I'll put a picture here. And that was knit in Serdar Snuggly Baby Bamboo in the Tickety Boo colourway. And then knit a Newborn Vertebrae. Both the Newborn Vertebrae and the Puerperium are both by Kelly Van Niekerk. They're all linked in the show notes. And I knit this, I'll put a picture here. And that was knit in Mr. B's yarn in their standard 4-ply merino nylon in the Happy Feet colourway. And it's really cute. So cute. So cute. And then, there's a bit of a story. So I then knit a bounce blanket by Tin Can Knit. Picture here. It's knit in Drops Charisma. So Sarah, who's had the baby, has knit a bounce blanket for every other baby in her family. She's knit it about 4 times now, and is never going to knit another one, she said. So I knit this as sort of a bit of a sort of jokey, your baby cannot be the only one without a bounce blanket. So yeah, that was all my baby knitting. It's very exciting. So I imagine I'll do some more for him for Christmas, because that is coming sooner than we think. Don't know what. Where are we now? Halfway through October, November, December. So only got like 2.5 months till Christmas. I don't know what Christmas knitting I'm going to do, if any. Probably just a pair of socks for my sister. But don't tell her. Yeah, I'm not in the gift knitting mood this year. Anyway, so that was all my FOs. The baby knits have been FOs for quite a while. So the only recent FO are this one and... Sorry, cat is back. You want to come say hello? Come say hello. Oh! This is Billy Boo Bear. Say hello. Hello. He's my boy. He's my baby boy. Oh! So, yeah. So that's all the FOs. So the only recent FOs are these and the Coffee Talk socks. Like I say, I haven't had a huge amount of knitting time. And I took loads of knitting on holiday. Why do we do it? We take loads of knitting on holiday, and you knit for like an hour a day, if that. Because we were out about doing, out and about doing stuff during the day, and then. Sorry, he's ferreting. Get your nose out of there. He's got his nose in a bag of weaving stuff. Oh yeah, that was something I bought on holiday. I bought a peg loom. So I need to get cracking with that and see it's quite interesting. I've done peg loom weaving before in a workshop. Really enjoyed it. So yeah. Anyway. Whipsies. What have we got on the needles? Whipsies. First off, we have. So yeah, I took loads of knitting on holiday and hardly got anything done. But one thing I did do is I finished my first, minus the heel, my first Georgia sock. Whoa. That's pretty true to colour actually, because this is neon pink. So this isn't being knit. These are again by Tracy Miller. So they do an afterthought heel, but I haven't put the heel in yet because I'll do that when the other one's finished. So this is being knit with Coop Knits yarn. Oh, now I've just dropped my needles on the floor. So I've got one done, but I haven't even started the other one yet. But I may do these as like work knitting during the week. So this is the pink. You can't even read that. It's the Xenon colourway, so that's the pink. And then the blue is Larimar. I think I need to get my eyes tested because they're like small print now. I have to do that old person like long arms squinting type thing. Yeah, in the Larimar colourway. I've had these glasses a while, so probably about due for an eye test. Sorry, I just wanted to pick these up off the floor because my little friend will start chewing them or something else. So yeah, that's the Georgia socks. So I have one done. The next thing in my knitter bag from Stitcher's Tees is my Zweig. So I'm just motoring on down. Oh my word, it's like Spaghetti Junction here. There we go. So this is the Zweig by Caitlin Hunter, who also does the Soldotna pattern and various other beautiful patterns. So this is where I'm at. So I have all of the yoke done, and I'm just powering down through the body now. I'm about that far. I'm really bad at guesstimating. Probably about 6 inches down the body, so probably got another 8 or so inches, if not more, 10 inches to go. And these are being knit in Nora George yarns, in her 4-ply Meringo. That was a choice of, that was a mix of merino and fingering. Meringo, so in a 4-ply fingering weight. So Nora George yarns, and then November, which is this one, which is beautiful. So November and raspberry. Lost my ball. There we go. So those two together. So it's beautiful. So again, that's just I use it as work knitting because it's just going round and round and round and round and round in circles. What else we got going on? The Jigsaw by Stephen West, which I'm loving, but has been put on the back burner for a moment because I've started the mystery knit. So this has grown quite a lot probably since you last saw it, because it's been, before the mystery knit started, it's been the thing that I've been working on in the evenings and stuff. I'm trying to work out which way up it goes because I can't remember. Right, so I think it goes that way. So I have one wing completely done, and that's the bottom point there. So these are all yarns being held double. I've used several different, it calls for like 6 skeins of yarn, but I've just used scraps and yarns that I pulled out like 20 skeins of yarn that I liked, and I couldn't decide on 6, so I've used a mixture of all of them. But once it's finished, then I will list them all on the project page, show notes. And here I'm using a skein of Surrey alpaca mixed held double with a fingering weight, and it's beautiful. It's like knitting with a cloud. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. So I've only got one wing left to go, so it's not far from finishing, but I have been waylaid with the new Stephen West mystery knit, which I will show you in a moment. There have been lots of spoilers out there, but if you are knitting it and you don't want to see what it looks like, then skip ahead in a moment. But I've got one more whip before we look at the. So this has been like car knitting, and I did a bit in the cinema when we went cinema, and like handbag knitting, like at appointments and things like that. So these are my full moon socks. So I've used Mr. B's yarn in the chiffon colourway as the contrast, and then this is the full moon colourway. It's pretty neon-tastic, from Fab Funky Fibres. So I only had a 50-gram skein, so this is what I've got left. So they will be afterthought everything socks. So I'll just knit a tube, knit a toe on one end, and then I'll split it in half and put in a heel, toe and cuffs on the other one. So that is, dropped up in my microphone. So it's Fab Funky Fibres in the full moon colourway. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, so if you are doing or want to do the mystery knit and don't want to see what it looks like, I would skip ahead a few minutes. So here we are. So this is the Starflake mystery knit so far. So clue 1 was these 6 parallelograms, and then you did some stripes in garter and stockinette. So it's a lot of purling. So that was clue 1, all of those and that. So it took, because of being at Strictly, I did start 2 days late, so I didn't finish clue 1 till Friday, and then the second clue came out, and the second clue is some brioche. So it's a brioche section. It's probably going to be about that much more, I would imagine. I'm just going through the second repeat of the pattern now. So yeah, so you can see it's going to be like this V shape all the way along because of the way you're doing your increases and decreases. So yeah, I'm loving it. So this is being knit in. This was a budget blow-in purchase at Perth, but it was too beautiful to leave behind. I that was my main sort of goal at Perth, was to get my yarn for the mystery knit, and you needed 2 skeins of 2 colours, like quite contrasting colours, as you can tell why you would need that. So I went to the Olan booth, which was beautiful. She has some gorgeous yarns. And this is ethically sourced yarn, hand dyed in Ireland. It is the sock light base, which is an 80-20. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. 425 meters for 100 grams. So this colorway is slow. So it's like a bluey grey. It's a grey with a very blue undertone to it. And then this one is damson. So they go quite well together, being two autumn fruits, sloe and damson. So they're beautiful. So, and these are the two that I've caked up so far to. So yeah, they're beautiful, beautiful yarn. Really loving knitting that mystery knit. So intrigued as to where it's going to go next. So that's it for Whipsies. Was a bit of a short one this time, but better than nothing. My other purchase, bit of a Stephen West love fest. I got his new shawls book, which is his third book, Shawl Evolution. And I love this one. I love this one. They're just amazing, amazingly beautiful. There's the mold magic in here that I've done already. But I just wanted to show you this beauty. This is the Chrysler shawl, and that's going to be on my radar very soon, I think, because it's beautiful. This one's quite nice for a man in your life. I think it's very wearable for a man. So if they wear it like tucked up, it doesn't look like a shawl. And that's the Rockefeller shawl. This is the other one that I love, the tree fern. It's beautiful. So much knitting, so little time. This is also another great one for a guy as well. The Herbivore. What else is in here that I really liked? Sorry, I should have probably marked the pages. That's Speckle and Pop. That was a mystery knit previously. This one. This is the fella. Oh my god. These colours are amazing. This is the West Fjords shawl. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. And actually you start with these short row wedges here. Isn't it beautiful? So, like I say, so much knitting, so little time. That's it really, I think. The next event I'm going to be at will be Flock on the 30th of November, which is run by Mr. Bees and Bird Street. So if you are interested in going, then contact them and they will give you more information, I'm sure. So that's it. That's all I've got to show you, and pretty much, yeah. So thank you for watching. Sorry if I don't know whether it seems a bit rushed or not, but I wasn't rushing, but I just haven't got that amount of content really. Hopefully by the time I record again, I'll have a few more FOs to show and some new whips perhaps. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please go and join the Ravelry group, links in the down bar, and you'll find show notes etc. in there. Okay, happy knitting. Thank you. Bye.